This is my lumberjack latte look today.
Nice.
If you had to give yours a name, what would you call it?
This kind of, with the sweater reminds me of being a teacher a little bit.
I was thinking school teacher chic.
Yeah.
School teacher, like Vogue. Like there was definitely something fancy. It wasn't like school teacher slouchy. It was like school teacher bump.
Beyond the lunch lady.
Oh yeah, we're upgraded. We're like well above and beyond that. So yeah, it's a little school teachery, but I'm into it. I think it's inviting.
We match really
professional.
well.
I think we contrast very well.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We need that. We need more of that. I think you have to have the yin to the yang. Like there were a lot of good things we had this year, but I also think it's going to be fun to talk about like maybe the not so fun things from this year.
Yeah.
Because I think on social media, people don't put their failures. Like people are really not posting a lot of their like major losses or failures or like icky moments because you just kind of can't.
It's hard. I think it's hard to be vulnerable online. I think that it's much easier to kind of showcase what everything that's going well looks like. And so, yeah. But today's episode, we're talking about
cringiest moments from the year.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you can come up with like your cringiest buyer moment. What was a buyer behavior that made you just feel super icky or that you just kind of like needed to dish about with a friend? Like what's something that you got to see this year?
I have buyers who definitely had a bottom dollar amount, right? And they wanted to make sure that the amount of cash they brought to the table was a specific dollar amount. And so we were trying to look at properties within that dollar amount. And we were making offers on a property, and this property had multiple offers. We had a little bit more cash that we could increase our offer by, but I had said it really needs to be our best and final.
Yeah.
With
what you were shopping for.
Right. But then we came back and said that we had another best and final. And I had to explain to them that this doesn't really make us seem like a trustworthy buyer because they had already called for the best and final 6 hours prior to come back and be like, oh, wait, we found more. We have more that we want to give. They've already had conversations with their sellers. And so I think that if you really love a property, make sure you give them your best and like talk about how pissed would you be if you lost it? At what dollar amount? This is what I tell my clients.
What's the window where it's okay to lose it by? Are we talking, is it like $5? Is it $5,000? Right. Is it more than that?
Would you be upset if somebody got this house because they spent $10,000 more on it? That's the question. It's not just about that. It comes down to other things like terms and financing and all of that. But I think that if you want to come off as a strong buyer, be really, really clear with your contract up front.
Yeah. I think there's room for education in there, right? Of like, oh, okay, let's not do that again.
Right.
Let's try that differently. Because I'm guessing you didn't win that offer.
We did not win that offer. No.
Okay. Got it. The decision was made at that point.
I want to represent my clients in the best way possible. So it's hard for me to know. We could have come off a little bit stronger had I had all the information in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go. I have a couple like cringy buyer moments. This one is probably from a little further back, but I'm going to do some digging here. So I was in my first year of real estate and was a baby broker. And this was like a referral that was handed to me by the listing agent, right? He's listing this property. He said, hey, I've got this party. They're interested. If you want to take this on, you'll pay me a referral fee plus, of course, whatever he makes from the sale. So he was making like good money on this transaction. So he was very incentivized to see this go through. So I'm working with this client and he's like acting like it's 2020. His perception of the competition was different. I'll say he thought it was like 2019. Where he didn't have as much like, I have to bring all of my best. And we were in a position where this listing agent is really good at what he does. Like he lists like almost exclusively Airbnb or Airbnb-like qualities. We're talking like the Highway 2 corridor.
Okay.
And they're beautiful. They're stunning. They're all cabins. Like sometimes they're not even on septic. They're just like outhouse. Like, so we're talking like rural retreat, but like rustic and chic, and it's great. And we were looking at this great house, and it was an absolute time capsule, like a 1970s snapshot, and it was pristine. Like the house was in great shape. And I'm showing this property to this client. He spends about an hour showing, coming to my open house while I'm showing this property, and I had expected him to come through. So then when we get back home, we're working on our offer, and he's like, you work with this listing agent, because we worked for the same firm. He's like, so, find out what's the number. Like, what's the magic number? Like, what's the number it's going to take? And he doesn't mean, like, if this is the list price, what's this number? He meant, what's this number?
Below.
Which you can't see me if you're just listening, but I mean below.
Below
yes.
asking.
Yeah, what's the magic number? And so I call the agent, who I'm already novice to extremely, and I'm like, okay, my client just wants me to ask you, like, what's the number? And he's like, there isn't a number. Like, I'm going to get the best deal for my client, period. End of phone call. Like, that's it. There's not a lot of haggling to do here. So we write our offer. It's below asking, and he's asking for an additional $10K credit back. And I'm telling him, like, buddy, this is not a winning offer. We are expecting multiple offers. We are expecting this to escalate well above the list price.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's fine. I think an early submission is still worth something. I think there's still something to say of being the first offer on the table. So go ahead and submit it anyway. So I do. And then I hop on a plane, and I'm not feeling good about this offer. I know I'm not submitting a winning offer. And so I'm on the plane, and I guess sometime while I'm on the plane, my client's offer was reviewed, along with other offers. And when I get off the plane, I just get kind of like a really flippant text, like, we took somebody else's offer. And my client was pissed because he felt like he should have had a chance to compete, like really similar to what you just described.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gave you multiple chances to compete when I said this is going above asking price.
Right.
Plus, we're taking $10K off the back end to credit you back. For what reason? Like, he didn't have a great reason why he wanted this $10K credit to play with. He just thought, hey, I can ask for this because I have the buying power.
Right.
You didn't. The seller had the position of power, because he had multiple offers to look at.
Right.
We were the earliest. We showed
choices.
We showed our cards.
And if you're going to come in before the other offers and you're going to come in early, the bully offer works, but you have to come in over asking.
Yeah. You can't look like, I'm still looking for a bargain, because that's really what he was looking for. Like, he was still, when he was saying, what's that number? He was still looking for, like, what's their bottom number they'll take, as if they had to take a loss on this property, which they absolutely didn't. We were like 15 minutes from Stevens Pass.
Yeah.
In like a, 2,500 square foot, like gorgeous 70s A-frame, like beautiful cabin right on the water. They were like, we're good. We don't have to take that at all.
It's wild to me sometimes how much power people believe they have. And it's a great reason as to why you have a real estate agent, because if that guy had come to the sellers with that approach, they would have been pissed.
Yeah, it would have been offensive.
It would have.
I ended up being the loser all around, because the client did not want to work with me after that. So that was a tough lesson learned. The listing agent was like,
after you did what he asked?
I did what he asked, because I should have,
frustrating.
because I should have been in a position to pick up the phone and say, okay, here's their highest and best. Do you want to compete? Even though I already knew the answer. Even though I already knew the answer was no, this is as far as we're going to go on it. But I should have been in a position to, and I didn't communicate that. My client knew I was getting on the phone, but the listing agent didn't.
Okay.
And so he thought I was just not responding, I guess. He thought I was just unprofessional by not picking up the phone and doing that part of it. So when my client, the buyer or the almost buyer, called the listing agent, he just was fuming. Like, he was just like pissed and was like,
he called the listing agent directly?
Oh, yeah, because I was, remember, he was the one referring him to me. He originally called the sign and was like, hey, buddy, I like your house. I want to buy it. And he was like, let me refer you to somebody else, so that he didn't have to fall into dual agency.
Yeah.
So they already had an existing relationship, and I was the total scapegoat here, even though I was technically doing what both had asked me to do.
Right.
Really. And so when I'm talking to my listing agent, he's like, I'm really trying to not throw you under the bus. And he said that 3 times over the course of about 25 minutes. And I said, listen, buddy, here's a second cringe for you. I said, you've said that 3 times now that you really don't want to throw me under the bus. I kind of think you do, and you just need to do what you need to do to save face. So you go ahead and do what you feel like is right. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to continue to grow and, figure out my career aside from this one, blunder. And he was like, nope, I won't be doing that, because if I throw you under the bus, I will have to admit to that client that I knew you were incompetent. And I was like, got it. So this was really about you and your really high bar for performance, which is like, dang, that's impressive. But he's been in the work a lot longer than I was. But I was more impressed with like the level of self-centeredness of character, right? It was like super self-absorbed with like, oh, your failure is still about me in some kind of way, so I won't be admitting to that. I'm going to go ahead and maintain some level of prestige here. So anyway, the sale went through with the highest bidder. It's a great sale. It's a beautiful home. Like, somebody won a great house. I'm bummed I wasn't the winning offer, but how could I be with like those circumstances?
Right.
So live and learn. I definitely don't take a like indirect approach at all now when it comes to positioning highest and best. You have another one?
I have a funnier one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I had some older clients, were in their 70s. Every single appointment would take about an hour, to do a single house. And we would try to do 3 in a row.
Yeah? Okay.
Because that's as much as we could get through.
All right.
Every single time we would walk into a house, one of them would need to use the restroom for about 30 minutes.
Oh my.
One of them would need to use the restroom, while the other one putzed around or chit-chatted about something or another. And so my client would come out and be like, this one doesn't have any toilet paper. Let the listing agent know.
Okay. As if
that's on purpose.
as if that was going to be the thing that doesn't sell the house. Is the toilet paper.
Right? Oh, it was too funny. Every single weekend, 3 hours.
That's how it went.
Just waiting on them to go to the bathroom.
I have one that's like in between. It's probably not as funny as that one, but I had a client who, I was really trying to educate this person on enhancing their buying power, because they really had a good amount of buying power. I think that a huge amount of clients jumping from the sidelines to active shopping is a belief system of can I do this? Am I worthy of doing this?
Oh, absolutely.
So he has now dipped his toe in and he's almost treading water, right? He's got water wings on. He's getting into the process.
Getting ready. He's getting ready.
And I'm trying to work with his lender, and I'm like, his lender is a lot of the things that you assume about the real estate industry, which is a male-dominated, cisgendered kind of heavy industry.
Bro club.
It's real bro-y.
I mean, even though women dominate in this field.
Oh, we kill.
We dominate in this field, but I think it's this, I don't know, from back in the day. When
there's a
even
stink.
own homes.
Yeah, there's a stink that does come through.
Yeah.
So this lender is from that industry, from that era where it was all boys club all the time. And so he's from Eastern Washington, which is basically a different state in this industry. You might as well be on the East Coast as far as I'm concerned. And
so why was your client working with them?
Oh, funny you should ask. It's because his family worked with him too.
Oh, great.
Who don't live in the area.
Yeah.
They live in Eastern Washington.
Right.
And I'm talking grandma and mom. I think both worked with this person. And so when I was seeing the performance, first of all, we only landed on a phone call one time over the course of about 45 days because I called him to say on a voicemail. So I can't even say we were voice to voice. I called him and left voicemail saying we're going to need to see options for buy downs, because if my clients are looking to be strategic, and we're going to need to look at days on market and look at something like offer asking, but then go for a credit. And he sent it in an email to my client, over 9 emails. He sent different rate buy downs, and it wasn't a 3-2. It was over 30 years. And so I'm like, this is garbage. This is hogwash. And if I called one of my lenders.
What do you want me to do with this?
I called one of my lender girlfriends and was like, listen, I might need you to bail this family out, because this lender's performance is absolute garbage and I need them to know that. So I tried to make it known to my client as gently as I could that this is subpar customer service.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, you can go ahead and send me your lender's name. I'm not sure if I'm going to call him yet. I'll let you know. So then the weekend goes by and I follow up with him on Monday and I'm like, okay, how are you feeling about things? And he says, I'm feeling good. We're not going to change lenders because my mom went and talked to him.
Great. Good thinking.
So your mom went who lives in the town where he works, went into the branch and had a conversation with him.
They got it figured out.
It's like when you were on your period and you'd ask your mom to write you a note, or your best friend to write you a note to get you out of PE.
That didn't happen for me.
It felt like that. Oh, it never happened for you.
That
You said to endure.
That never happened for me, Kat.
Okay. Maybe not me either, but we had a friend do it. Like we would have some kind of get out of jail free card.
So nice.
I definitely had a friend call school while I was in summer school and call and was like, can you tell, this is Kat's mom, will you tell her to go home with such and such, which was like her older brother. I'm like, that happened one time for sure, but anyway, I digress. My client decided to stay with a basic lender because his mom went in and talked to the lender and was like, everything's fine. But then just to spoil the ending, when it came to actually writing our offer, he asked the favorite cringy question, which is, what's the lowest we can offer on this house without being disrespectful? And I'm like, well, this is where a buy down would have been really beneficial. And his comment was, that's just too confusing for me. I don't want to deal with credit back. I don't want to get credit back in this transaction. So he made the very novice mistake. Instead of negotiating $10K back in credits at the end of the transaction, he offered $10K under asking, which is about $60, $70 a month based on that price point we were buying in.
Right.
Whereas it would have been like $200 a month in his monthly payment had we gone with a buy down. So that was like super cringy that I had to just like sit there and bite my tongue on that.
Because that $10,000 on the price reduction is over 30 years, whereas you could also use that $10,000 as your down payment, right? Like,
yeah. So yeah, that was a tough one.
One of the hardest things that I struggle with clients is when they don't really know where they want to be.
Oh, we're talking geographically.
Yes.
Or like even product type. Because I think
that's happened to me this year too.
I think it has. I remember that.
I went from shopping to
single family residential
to
duplex,
and it's a totally different ball game. So you feel like you've got your feet under you for a minute because you're starting to understand like what kind of product can I afford, in what area can I afford it, and then all of a sudden you want to look at a totally different product. That can be so confusing to adjust your mindset.
Yeah. Too many options doesn't go well, actually.
Yeah.
I think you learn that in real estate school too. Like as you're learning things like negotiations and scripts and all of that, like how to have difficult conversations, you want to give like 2 choices, but not 17.
Right.
Because that's like, you get decision fatigue. You're like, no, I can't even, I'm just going to not show up for that.
Well, and have you ever had clients who are like so eager to move that they make opportunities out of every single product that you look at?
Yeah, where it's like, this could be impulsive. This feels impulsive more than it feels like the right one.
Exactly. They're so open to things that it's confusing. Where's the direction?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself coming back here? Because in my mind, it's like you haven't really considered all of your options. You don't really know what is available to you. You're just okay with anything. That's not going to last long term. So that gives me like fear, because if you don't have an invested interest in what it is you're buying, the likelihood that you're going to love it or lean into it is going to be really hard.
Yeah. I think a cringy moment for me is when like we hop on a chat, like a text chat, like a chain, you know?
Yeah.
And it's green.
Oh, gosh. Like a non-Apple phone?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of phone you have if our text chat is green, but I know you're limiting me in some kind of way. So that goes for clients. Like I've literally thought back, like, should I continue forward with this if you're a green chat box? Because I feel like we're limited in some ways.
We have some differences here.
We have some differences.
It's very hard to do FaceTime.
Mainly philosophical differences. But yeah, it's because of the way we're going to communicate, but it's also because of the way we record keep afterwards. If you're a blue chat, it's super easy for me to submit my material correspondence at the end of a transaction.
Okay.
But if you're green, then I have to pay a subscription annually to make sure I have like the right software that allows me to capture that and submit it as my material correspondence. There's probably a workaround.
I can show you how to do that.
Look at my friend over here. She's like, I was waiting for her. I'm like, oh. Like there's a workaround. There's a workaround.
So.
But
I'll
yeah,
show you,
I think we have an expensive industry to maintain your business, and I'm like, some of it does have to do with like the record keeping aspect of it, that I'm paying like $15 a month or whatever I pay for this software that I only use like once or twice, maybe 3 times a year.
Yet.
You're right.
Yet.
Because it could be more.
Yet.
If there's more of these. But the point I'm making is like, look, can we just get on the same page?
Yeah.
So if I want to send you like memes, or if I want to put a heart on a picture or a text message, it shows up differently if we're a green text chat versus if we're a blue text chat.
It's so true.
Yeah, I think our iPhone users will appreciate it. I think the people who are green won't be able to pick up on this and be like, I don't know what the big deal is. You have one more.
I had this family who was buying an investment property, so they would travel here to look at stuff. And they were a family of 4, and the parents noticed very quickly that I had the same car seats that would fit their kids. And so
they're like bonus.
Yeah, they're like, why don't you just ride with Emily to the next spot? You know?
Yep.
And so I would learn to like travel with a bag of like special novelty items that I could just be like, hey,
Here, take this.
You want a tattoo? Hey, you want a magnifying glass?
How about a sticker?
Yeah.
Like just stuff.
Hey, you need a rake?
A slinky, perhaps?
I was just like, am I teaching? Am I selling?
Yeah,
you never know.
You never can tell.
You never know.
I think it's hilarious. The parents were like, we get a mini date.
Full service, folks. Full service.
This is a full fee agent over here.
That's right.
Okay, mine, I've decided to spare the details, and I'll do the TLDR, which is waiting to get pre-approval till you find the right house. Like, that is a cringy moment that did happen for me. I did lose a client.
It happens a lot of times. It's like they find a house and they're like, I want it, and they're not pre-approved.
I did lose a client because they were like wanting to see everything, and in my first couple years of real estate, I was like, yes, I'll take you. But when we're talking like eastern, like towards pass, right, towards Stevens, it's not exactly an easy hike to make. And I'm spending an hour doing these showings sometimes, and I'm like, if you guys are going to see this one, I think our 3rd weekend out, I was like, this one is going to move after a price drop. We really need to get you guys pre-approved before we go out there. And then they just ghosted me on that one. So I don't know how they actually did on that one. And it's not that I would not have done it, but it was just starting to get irresponsible with like my time and my energy.
Yeah, definitely.
But I have plenty of newbies who come through and they're like, we're going to wait to get pre-approved until we find the right house. And that's like the cringiest thing, I think, for an agent, because like it's just irresponsible.
You're gambling, right? It's like, I'm going to show up to the craps table, and when I get there, I'm going to hit the ATM.
Okay. Can I do
and then the game's done. The game's over.
So we talked a lot about buyers. Can I do one on an agent?
Yeah.
My cringiest agent moments this year are when the agent tells me how many years they've been in the industry.
Oh, I love that.
My name's Jim Bob Cooter, and I've been in the industry for 19 years, and I've never seen it like this before.
Oh,
right? Or like they'll say, I've seen everything.
That's the favorite thing.
I've seen everything under the sun. There's nothing you can tell me because I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
But my favorite kind of like, okay, cool guy moment is when I'm looking at a contract that this like big timey, like I'm a CEO of my brokerage, like this guy who's been in the industry for forever. I'm like, you're still making mistakes on your contracts. Like you're still making mistakes like a newbie negotiator. And when he couldn't get his client to the signing table to close on closing day, he just went silent on me for like 48 hours. And so I'm like, my client's paid an impressive retainer for a real estate attorney, because we're like, we're going to fight for this house.
Yeah.
We're not going to just like
Yeah.
be happy that you get to the signing table. Like, no, there's actual repercussions here, you guys.
Right.
Then he comes back around and was just like, okay, congratulations, all, we're closed. He called back around. I skipped 2 of his calls before I finally answered the last one, when he was like, oh, you're no longer mad at me now. It's just, how can I help you, sir? Like, I'm just trying to be professional over here. And like, when I'm messaging you on closing day, because it's now past the hour when our funding source can come through and fund this loan today for us to close. Hey, we need a game plan. And then you just don't respond to me at all for like 2 days.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty unprofessional.
Well, I always think whenever somebody tells you how experienced they are, they're probably pretty bad at their job, because your experience would speak volumes anyways.
Yeah,
So
you would know.
Yeah.
Right? You would know if you're swimming with a
Oh,
shark.
you don't need to tell me, honey.
Yeah. Sometimes you're swimming with sharks and you know it. They don't need to tell you, like, by the way, I've been doing this for however many years. So, yeah. like, so first year agents can be cringy and like 30-year agents can be cringy.
No
as well,
doubt.
turns out.
All across the board.
Yeah. So enjoy. Our cringe gets to be your entertainment. Thank you for following.
Yeah.
Bye.